Has poverty struck in your soul? Did you think you can print money out of thin air and call yourself rich? Well, mathematically, you are broke. By the definition in the dictionary, you are a counterfeiter and you are broke. The banks are broke, is what I would say.
They're looking rich though.
Listen,
I got that yet.
some scammers on the horizon, ladies and gentlemen. STAKK Nation, welcome back to the channel. What do we have here today, Double O?
The real African prince.
Oh, man. The real African prince is knocking at your door.
Yes, sir.
And they have a freaking bridge to sell ya. The European Parliament is what we're looking at here.
We're bringing the classic back.
Okay.
Especially during these harsh times of financial distress.
This is what is crazy, man. We talk about this stuff all the time, but I feel like when we post these videos, people look at us like we are mad. We are crazy. We are talking about conspiracy theories, man. How much do you need to see in order to believe? As a matter of fact, it's not even about how much do you need to see in order to believe. But at what point in time does the poverty, the scamming, the deceit strike you so deep in your soul? At what point in time does the inflation hit you so hard where you're like, you know what? I don't want to pay $1 more for anything. I'm just going to switch over to the Bitcoin standard. Because here's the thing. You cannot go and protest. You cannot go and attack anyone or do whatever to get these guys to change their mind. I think that history has proven at this point in time that these people will not change.
2013, guys, this guy was telling you, and
Yes.
people still didn't get it. And
So-
this is 10 years later,
And now we are back at the same place.
back at the same drummer.
All right, let's watch the video, man.
Commissioner, Mr. President, I rise again, I'm afraid, to make the same old hoary speech that I've been making here for several years, and that is, it is my opinion that you do not really understand the concept of banking. All the banks are broke. Bank Santander, Deutsche Bank, Royal Bank of Scotland, they're all broke. And why are they broke? It isn't an act of God. It isn't some sort of tsunami. They're broke because we have a system called fractional reserve banking, which means that banks can lend money that they don't actually have. It's a criminal scandal, and it's been going on for too long. To add to that problem, you have moral hazard.
Let's let the man breathe. He says it is a criminal scandal and it's been going on forever.
Monday morning, we're about to see another implementation of that scandal because there's no way out of this mess, y'all.
It is clear that it is a criminal scandal. But at the same time, if you look at it, okay, if we are all free human beings, what is really a crime?
A crime is when you give everybody the power thinking that you can trust them and then they just smack you in the face with it.
Yes. This is definitely it's a point of realization. It is very clear when you have people sitting in such a setting discussing these things that they are doing and they're clearly referring to it as a crime. We are committing a crime. Maybe let's debate about not committing a crime against society anymore. What sort of madness is this?
It's a crime for money to exist without work.
Which is what they're doing, printing the money. They call it counterfeiting when others do it.
It's against the law of nature. Nothing exists without work.
All right.
And after it's created, it transfers forms, different forms of
you can
energy.
Transform the energy, can't destroy it. All right, well, let's play on here.
That's the usual face you get when you're trying to tell people. It's like, what the hell is this guy? You're crazy.
What the hell is he talking about?
Yeah.
Jim, we've spoken about this before. You're crazy. Go sit down. Well, let's push on.
Hazard, a very significant moral hazard from the political sphere. And most of the problem starts in politics and central banks, which are part of the same political system.
Most of the problem starts with politics and central
banks.
Again,
period. That's
SEC is an ex-Goldman Sachs.
Yeah.
You look at FCTC, bunch of ex-bankers. You look at the Federal Reserve, bunch of central bankers.
Yeah.
Everything, even the government, which is the politics, bankers are bought out or put in government by bankers, and you wonder why you can't store your value, or you're gonna own nothing and you're gonna be happy with it. That's what they've told you.
The ship has been captured by the crabs.
We have counterfeiting, sometimes called quantitative easing, but counterfeiting by any other name. The artificial printing of money, which if any ordinary person did, they'd go to prison for a very long time. And yet governments and central banks do it all the time. Central banks repress the amount of interest that rates are, so we don't have the real cost of money. And yet we blame the real retail banks for
Repress the interest rates so you don't have the real cost of money.
Fire.
Notice that is happening right now.
At this moment.
Manipulation of the money, the value. We're all being robbed. By the time this thing is done, we'll all accept that a freaking box of egg costs $10.
I have a question for the people. Next week, the Federal Reserve gets to raise the interest rates, repress your money again. Do you think Jerome Powell has the guts to go 50 basis points, given what's going on in the banking system right now? Or to do more quantitative easing, because it's going to have to do more quantitative easing to get us out of this mess?
Bro, okay, well, here's a good question. But here's something that I'm and it just hit me in my head right now. There is no such thing as getting out of this mess. There is no
either direction. We're screwed, right?
Tell me one time in history that these people have actually gotten this thing right. Once.
If you do QE, which is print more money, it increased inflation.
Yes, the system does not work. You cannot get
adding more money into the system, which what caused the inflation in the first place.
Yes. And let's say you do quantitative tightening, which is moving the opposite direction, right?
Yep.
You are trying to pull back money, which the banks have taken and created loans on money they did not have. So you can never get back. The math is fucked. It's not coming back. Like it's done. Like there is no coming out of this situation.
Oh, I know the answer.
Start over, reset.
CBDCs. That's the answer. But guess what? They ain't ready.
Oh shit! Hey, wait.
Even JP said it.
Have you heard of this thing called Bitcoin? Shit.
Oh, tell me more,
bro. Immutable. Okay. Unmesswithable ledger. Okay. Transparent ledger. You cannot print money on it. But what do we know? You know what I'm saying?
Simple mathematics, man.
If these guys can Google something called Bitcoin, that'd be great. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's wrap up this video, bro, because here's the thing. The level of incompetence, stupidity, okay, and just outright, let me not use that word, from these people is beyond belief. Let's play on.
Manipulating LIBOR. The sheer effrontery of this.
Here's what is bothering me about these videos we're doing these days, okay? These people, we're looking at people who are decades and decades old. A lot of these people have been in this position for many, many years.
Experts.
These conversations that they're having are the same conversations they've been having for decades and decades.
Biggest schools.
Why are we expecting anything to... Here's the problem, and here's the hazard that I always think about people leaning into what Jerome Powell is going to do next. You are literally making this man your god. He's going to determine what is going to happen with the value of your money, and these people have no interest in changing anything. Look at Biden, who is president right now. A lot of the things that he was running on are things that he has been in the position to change. This man did not get into politics today. He has been into politics for years. It did not change then. It is not changing now. Let's all stop playing this stupid ass game. We probably like to think that our vote matters. But okay.
He said something real quick. He said manipulating labor. You manipulate labor through globalization. Yeah. You ship the jobs out of your country to other countries. Let's not name the countries. Mm-hmm. Take all the profits. Maximum salaries. And you said, oh, labor is getting cheaper.
Yeah. I think
Artificial intelligence is about to whoop their butt, man.
that's what you call exploitation. Anyway,
This is quite astonishing. It's central banks. It's central banks that manipulate interest rates, Commissioner. And plus, underneath all this, we talk loosely, in a rather cavalier fashion, do we not, about deposit guarantees. So when banks go broke through their own incompetence and chicanery, the taxpayer picks up the tab. It's theft from the taxpayer. And until we start sending bankers, and I include central bankers and politicians, to prison for this outrage, it will continue.
Mic drop.
yeah, sit down, sir. Your time is up. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this thing, man?
I mean, we've been talking through all of this, man. That last part is that exactly what's going on now.
Yeah.
The banks fill with your money. They tell you FDIC insured to the point that you trust them so much you even put more money than what is insured. What's the good story of what's going on right now? Silicon Valley Bank. The FDIC, the agency the government put in, they can't even insure you. And for them to insure you, they have to print more fake money. But who allows all of this to happen? The people who put in governments and the central bankers. They are the same thing. We are all fucked. Simple as that. And until we start changing that through Bitcoin, we will continue to get fucked.
Right.
Excuse my French. There's no other word for it, man. That's the only word out there.
Listen, one day at the point of monetization, we'll revisit. But listen, the bottom line is we are screwed in many ways. Fucked beyond belief, as Double put it. But here's the thing, man. I had to just scratch my head there. When I scratch this head like this is when the brilliant thoughts come to mind. But then the thing is, it's probably a good idea to process it before you say it out loud. Because I could have, offend half of the earth.
Fuck the old interweb. Get banned on YouTube now.
Exactly. Well, look, fuckery on the horizon. We're being scammed in broad daylight. There are people in the government who know we're being scammed. They're saying that the scamming needs to stop, but nothing is being done. The government has been hijacked by the same people who are scamming us. Okay, so this is why nothing is being done. The scam is non-stop. The only way to remove yourself from the scam is to participate in an environment where the scammers do not have full control of the situation. I mean, I get it. People say you can manipulate the price of Bitcoin, but listen, they cannot debase the value of Bitcoin. They can dump it all day long, but as they dump it, more people buy more. So if you keep buying Bitcoin, at some point in time, you should reach a point where the thing cannot fall below the value that you have, below a certain point.
Short squeeze, baby. It's like AMC all over again.
If you think about it, it's like the people who bought Bitcoin at $5.
Yep.
What are the chances that these people will ever see the losses again?
How about those that lost it?
Well, mathematical side, okay, from a profit loss standpoint,
Yep.
given that you don't lose your Bitcoin, which you probably should not lose your Bitcoin, right? Look into hard wallets, so on and so forth. Do not store it on an exchange either. But you get the idea, right? The more you buy it, and over time, as a matter of fact, this is actually something that you definitely inspired me and showed me the ropes of it. Time in the markets, right? Investing over time will always beat the
trader in and out.
Yeah, generally the trader in and out, and also the person that is just not investing at all. Or the person who is impatient and selling in a bear market, not averaging down like you should. I was gonna say not double clutching like how they said in Fast and Furious. You know what I'm saying? But not double clutching like you should. But these are the things that are happening, right? At the end of the day, this wall is a free wall, and when these things are happening, it's just about figuring out a way and a strategy to best position yourself for the best results for yourself and your financial interests. It's really what it really comes down to. With that being said, do you have any final thoughts before we close this one out, sir?
Yes, sir. One last word. The scammers are scamming the scammers.
Yes.
At what point do you realize that you are in or pawn in the scamming process?
Forget the Nigerian prince. We're looking at the prince, the banking prince,
The white prince.
the banking
Let's
princess,
just call it the white prince.
the
man.
white princess.
You know.
But you know, there's some black bankers that don't give a fiat about the African nation.
I like that. They don't give a fiat. They should start
Yes,
using that.
they
We
don't
are
give a
fiat.
We don't give a fiat about this. Ooh,
Ooh.
ooh, sir, we just made that here.
Another t-shirt.
Stamp it, stamp
Ooh.
it. We're in there. We're in there. We're supposed to bump it after. Anyway, all right. So, yes, we're no longer gonna use the word fuck anymore. We're just gonna use fiat.
Fiat.
We don't give a fiat about this situation.
Nope.
Okay. With that being said, I forgot the last thing I was going to say, so I'll just
Oh man,
wrap
my
it
fault.
up here.
My fault.
No, you're good, but I think we gained something from that one. Fiat.
Yeah.
Fiat is our new F word. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for subscribing. We are absolutely humbled and honored that you would even consider to click away and spend some time with us. It means the world to us. It's a beautiful thing, and we will keep working hard to improve the quality of this content for you. Let us know in the comments. What would you like us to talk about, look into? We'll definitely give our take on it as well. Comment, like, share, subscribe the video and the whole thing. Follow us on Twitter, STAKKFin. Follow us on Facebook, STAKKFin as well. Mostly hanging out there with some older shoes from the time when Warren Buffett was running with Jesus. We're also on Spotify, STAKKFin. We're actually blocked on Spotify because we try to bring the truth. We tried to let them know about this operation that is going on in Nigeria, but they said no.
Instagram.
Which one was I talking about?
You said Spotify, but it's alright.
I'm confused. Instagram is the one. Okay. And of course, we are also on Spotify. STAKK.
Yep.
There we go. Until next time. Brazen out.
Double O.
Perfect.